This is the plaintiff, Kennedy. He says he was hired by the defendant to move him. He started at 6:20 in the morning, and the move took 13 and a half hours, and the defendant only paid him a portion of the amount owed. He works very hard for his money. He's not about to let the defendant get away with shortchanging him. Is still owed $575, exactly what he's suing for. This is the defendant, Ilker Oakton. He says the defendant only sent 3 movers on the day of the move, instead of the contracted 4, and the move took longer than expected. When the move was over, the plaintiff hands him a bill for $1,600. He feels he's being scammed, paid way more than he was promised, and doesn't owe him a thing. He's accused of moving men to sue him.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff was hired by the defendant to move him, and he got stiffed. But the defendant says plaintiff didn't send enough people, and the job took longer than it should. It's the case of movers and shakedowns.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, you've asked us not to mention the company name or your last name. Kennedy, you're suing Ilker Oakton?
Correct.
And Garfield Tile Outlet for $575 that you say is still due on a move that you did for him, and according to you, he shortchanged you. What happened?
We were contacted by the defendant to arrange a move. He specifically requested for us to send 4 men to him for a total of 9 hours. I gave him an estimated quote for $1,350 for the job. And we went back and forth and agreed on the price. On the day of the move, one of my guys couldn't make it. So we actually had 3 men and the truck. So I contacted him early when they got there to let him know that it's only 3 men that will be coming and that we will adjust the rate.
Adjust the rate to what?
Adjust the rate, the hourly rate.
Adjust the rate to what?
Oh, the standard hourly rate that we have for 3 men. And
No. When you call him, what do the 2 of you agree on a plan about what would be charged?
No, we didn't discuss that at that time.
Okay, you just say, I'm so sorry, I'm giving you 25% less labor, we'll work it out later.
Right.
Okay, so go ahead.
Right. So the men arrived, they did the work. Eventually, the work extended far beyond the...
How many hours did it take?
In all, it took 15 hours.
Okay, go on.
At the end of the job, he was supposed to pay us some extra money, and he did not.
How much money was he supposed to pay?
The whole job would have come to $25. He gave us a...
Wait, how so? What was your... Let me see the agreement. You send him... You don't have a contract, right?
Yes, we do have...
No, you don't. You don't have a signature or anything. You just have an email, right?
Right, we have an email.
Okay,
right.
So I'm going to presume, since that email was sent to you and you didn't object, that that's the agreement between you two. But that's not the same as having a contract with waivers to protect you, like you should.
Yeah, okay.
How long have you been in the business? Because you're the first movers I've ever seen who don't have a pre-printed contract.
Yeah, because we didn't meet with him physically.
Okay, so now, instead of 9, it takes how long?
15.
Okay, and then what happens?
Well...
You're not at the move, right?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I did... Well, we didn't know how long the job was going to last. So I was constantly getting in touch with him to work out the details before the end of the move. But
do you subcontract the move?
No, it wasn't subcontracted, no.
So if you were down one guy, why didn't you just go help out that day? What were you doing that day? You'd be a 4th guy.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah,
but
okay.
anyway, we have other things to do.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have other things to do probably, and you also have other things to do than chase your money and waste a whole day in court too, right?
But I don't think that's the cause of...
Oh, I think it is. Let me hear from you. What's the cause that you don't want to pay more? What's going on?
Your Honor, it was a very rush moving. We unexpectedly sold our house much sooner than we planned. And then in 2 days, I had to find a mover, and I found amicable movers in 2 days.
And 2 days that you're bitter that you priced the house too low, right? Because you've got to be arguing with each other about whether you priced the house too low. And all right, go ahead.
Yes, Honor. And then that's why I had my card, Visa debit card. He asked me $400 deposit through his PayPal account, and I paid right away. And then I told him, My family is very worried. We need a written contract. We need a invoice. Please email me an invoice. I can scan it. I can sign it for you. I can fax you back.
Why didn't you
But
just do that? That's what everybody does these days. I mean, you can just take, a picture of it. He prints it out. He signs it. He sends it back to you. He gets to read what the terms and conditions are for 3 versus 4.
That's what I sent him in the email. The email
Well, but
clearly
that doesn't
stuck.
require his signature. Anyway, go ahead. So that's how you guys ended up doing business. You didn't sign anything. This happens. But we're not even in dispute about other stuff. He sent 3 guys.
he sent 3 guys,
Right.
and then I found out he sent 3 guys 6 a.m. in the morning. He didn't let me know before that. And 1 rental truck, and 1 dolly, 2 duct tapes, and 6 blankets.
So we are about the details. So
Yes.
what did you expect that was different than that?
I was expecting 4 guys and more professional guys.
Because the guys weren't professional?
They were not professional.
Isn't that one of the guys?
He's
He's
one
a
of
little
his guys.
insulted. Okay. And he's your witness. You've already made your witness angry, like Court 101.
They are hardworking guys, but when it comes to the money issue, and the problem started at 2 p.m. And these are the 3 guys he sent me, and
Okay.
one of them is the foreman I marked here.
Uh-huh.
And when it comes to 2 p.m., the foreman started yelling, screaming, complaining that the job, we have so many furnitures, it's not, his agreement with his boss is
Is
until...
that you?
Yes, it's me. And I worked,
Everybody's happy in this picture.
I worked as much as them too. Anna.
Yeah. So the foreman got upset because it was approaching the 9th hour. It was at hour 8. He starts saying, we're never going to finish this in time.
And then we are not going to finish at time. And he said he's not going to finish it. And he told me that I have to make a deal with him after his working hours. He agreed with his boss. And then I told him, it's no problem, guys, and I'm going to pay you. I'm going to pay your boss, but I can give you good tips, but don't make me pay double. He said, no. After this time, you are not answering my boss's calls. And I haven't, he called me a couple more times too, between 2 and 6, 7 p.m. And then I never answered his calls. I only dealt with the foreman.
With the
his
employees?
foreman.
With the foreman?
Correct, because he said he's not going to finish the job. He's going to leave.
Wow. Boy, he had you over a barrel.
And I told him, hey, please don't charge me so much. I mean, I can give you money, I can give you a big tip, but if I pay you and if I pay your boss, I cannot afford it.
And so what
then
did he say?
said-
What did you agree with him?
And he said he's going to tell me at the end of the job, job, and the
Well,
job.
that's not very smart on his part.
The job finished
He's going
at
to
10
finish the
o'clock.
job, then ask for money? Okay, go ahead. I mean, if you're going to hold the guy hostage right. Okay, so go ahead.
And they were acting like they are not. They don't want to leave the house.
What do you mean
he-
they don't want to leave the house?
And one guy was walking this side, the job is done. And then he started talking to his boss over the phone. All day long, they never talked. And I told him all day long, after 2 p.m., please talk to your boss, make an agreement. And it's already a very stressful day. And everybody is so tired. We don't need more aggravation. Please, let's make an agreement and we finish. Let's go home and sleep. And at 9:30, he started talking to his boss.
9:30 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Okay.
And then he said they are agreed, and I have to give him $250, and I have to give another guy $150, and another guy $150. And I said, is that okay? They said it's okay, and he's talking to his boss over the phone. And then he talked, I paid them, and then at the end, before he stops talking, he gave me the phone, and then he said, the boss wants to talk to you. And then when I started talking to him, and the big aggravation started, and then he said, I owe him more because of this.
Wait, at this point, had you already paid the other guys?
Yes.
So
I
did you
paid them.
always know that the boss was not in agreement with that? You pretty much knew that the boss was
of
not.
course,
Right.
I can
but
guess.
they've got
because
you hostage. And
I have to finish
come
the
on
job.
up. Who are you? Who are you, and why are you on that side of the table? Go ahead. What's your name?
My name's Akeem.
Okay.
I'm here with him on his side of the table and not his side of the table, I
Right.
guess.
How come?
Well, I don't really know either one.
Okay. Well, you spent all day with him.
Yeah, I'm with him all day.
Yeah.
Well, technically, I met him online. I applied for a quick little gig because I was in town and needed a couple dollars.
Okay.
And I found him, and he told me he had a job for a move. I was never told.
How did you meet him online, though? Someone?
Craigslist. I went
so
on Craigslist.
just on Craigslist,
Yeah,
he was just
Craigslist
putting out
ad.
anybody want to be a mover?
Anybody wanted to be a mover. So we're
Did
there.
you ever talk to the other guys and find out if he found them on Craigslist too, or whether they were employees of his?
I
or?
think the other other two guys, after talking to the day, they worked with him before, so I guess they work with him all the time. So pretty much, we're there.
So now we're approaching 2 o'clock. It's going to be a problem.
We're working. We're 2 o'clock. I have no say-so in anything. I'm not the foreman. The
You're
guy
just here
on the
for a couple dollars.
I'm just here for a couple dollars. I don't have anything to say. So pretty much it's coming to the time, I guess, our time schedule, and he's talking to him. And he's
Who's
also
talking to who?
The foreman.
Is talking to the customer.
The customer, and he's also talking to him.
Okay.
Which is what his job is to be, because
He's the foreman.
he's the foreman.
Yeah.
That's what he paid him to talk to do.
Okay.
So he's pretty much tells him that we're approaching the time that we have scheduled, and you would have to pay the guys more, because if you're not going to pay them more, then I'm going to take my guys and leave. So we make an agreement with him that we would pay.
That he would
would
pay.
pay us more, and we would stay for the hours. or whatever.
Does anybody discuss how much more?
He gave us 150 each. I didn't know he gave the other guy, the foreman, 225, but that's what the foreman gets, because they make the
Okay.
deal. So later on, because this is happening around 2 o'clock, at the end of the move, when it comes to 10 o'clock, that's when I guess these two get on the phone with each other, and then
Which two?
the boss over there,
The boss and the
mover,
customer.
Customer, they get on the phone because the foreman, he's looking for us, asking us where we're at, and the foreman tells him we're coming, but he's like, your guys are late. He owes me money, and the foreman hands him the phone. So then the foreman.
And at this point, the foreman's already been paid $225. You were paid an additional $150, and the other guy was paid an additional $150.
Yeah.
Okay,
From
so
me.
he paid $400, then he paid $10.50 at the end of the night.
Right.
Right?
I paid $1,100 the honor.
Oh, are you counting tips? Or
No.
what?
No, I didn't count tips.
Okay.
$1,100 I gave foreman, and I told him, please
Oh,
give.
not $10.50. It was $1,100.
Correct.
Is your foreman still working for you?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Well, you tell that foreman that he. Do you know how much you gave the foreman, or not really?
No.
Okay. Did you get a receipt?
I didn't get any receipt on
How are
it.
you going to give a guy $1,100 and not get a receipt?
At 10 o'clock at night.
I don't care if it's 10 o'clock at night. It's if that's a time that you're dealing in thousands of dollars, that's a time that your hand has to ask for a receipt. The cash doesn't leave this hand without a receipt coming into this one. You can grab the nearest crayon and the nearest roll of toilet paper and write it out that he acknowledges accepting $1,100.
So if the guy didn't send enough movers, can he charge extra for the move?
No, you have to give something to get the money. And if you can't deliver what you promised, you don't get.
It's not even so much not delivering what you promised. He knew what he had to do to get him moved, and he didn't send enough guys. Is he out of luck? Does he have to pay? Does he have to charge just what the contract said, or can he charge additional for the additional time?
No, I think he should charge the original price they agreed on, and not $1 more.
Not $1 more. I'm going to go to you real quickly just because your hair is awesome.
Thank you. Honestly, I don't think that he needs to pay them any more than that was contracted, because he has to fulfill his promise as a business. It's not necessarily a case-by-case basis. It's what they're told.
Gotcha. Going inside the courtroom.
You weren't there at all.
No.
All right. So no, I'm not done. I'm tallying. $400. Then there's $1,100. Then there's $225. Then there's $150. Then there's $150. Then there's whatever you tip people, which is your choice, right? Was he a good tip?
No, he's great.
What did he tip you?
I mean, I left that day about $500.
So you were happy.
I was happy.
What'd you do? What'd you do with the $500? Blew it all?
Nah.
I just got into town, Judge. That comes out to $2,025. So how you figure that I'm going to make this man pay you any more money when you don't have a contract, you don't have a leg to stand on since you breached the agreement by sending only 3 guys, and your foreman, who is your authorized representative on that job, since you couldn't be found, you couldn't be the 4th guy, your foreman says to him, pay this guy 150, pay this guy 150. Let me see what's left. All right, you pay him 150, you pay him 150, you pay 225, or we go home. And then the guy does everything he's told to do by your representative. And then at the end of the day, you're going to tell him, oh, no, you know what? Now you owe me more? I don't think so.
May I just...
No, you may not. My verdict in this case is for the defendant. Yeah, you want to say more? It's not enough for you to win. Okay, yeah, what?
When he starts suing me, Honor, I searched about him and about his company, and he does this systematically to all his customers. And then I printed his customers' review here, and all customers are exactly complaining like what I complained here.
Okay.
And may I present it?
No, you don't. You don't have to because you still won. Okay, verdict for the defendant.
Well, this is not a good day for the plaintiff here in the People's Court. You're smiling. What do you think about what the judge just said?
I am really blown away because there are many details here that I have no clue about. Number one, I did not know that he made any arrangement with the movers while they were there. Number one. Number two, he precisely and specifically and continuously repeated that we were going to load 2 trucks for him, that he doesn't want us to unload the second one, that he only wants us to unload our truck and leave.
Bottom line is, do you know about your foreman asking him for all that extra money?
I have no idea, but...
You got to go talk to him.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, I was constantly trying to reach this man, and he would not take my call. So if he was making a side arrangement with the foreman, I had no knowledge about it.
He obviously had no choice in the matter. It was that night he had to get it finished.
He did have a choice because the original arrangement was with me.
Over it with
I
you
understand.
Now. The judge heard the case.
I understand.
And you lost, so I'm sorry.
It's okay, not a problem.
But you talk to your foreman when you go back to your office.
I will.
Okay,
I
good
will.
enough.
Thank you.
The door's that way. Thank you so much. Mr. Oakton, if you'll step out here. Obviously, you know, you did the right thing here. You should have... I was worried. You kept talking to the judge. I thought she was going to do something and you weren't going to win, you know. But you were ahead. You could have shut up and just walked out, you know, at that point, right?
I'm very happy. I think it's a perfect example for the new homeowners before they hire
You found out all that information too late. You should have known that before you hired him. You know that?
I printed out like pages or complaints about him. We need to check the mover's review before we hire him.
Yeah, but you didn't do that before you hired him, did you?
I didn't do that.
Yeah, see? You made the big mistake there, too. Okay. Sorry, but congratulations. You did prevail. Okay. Harvey, very interesting case. What do you think?
Doug, moving companies are licensed by the state. And if you're having a beef, sometimes it's a good idea to call the licensing agency, and they can put pressure on a moving company that does something unreasonable. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.